Hiya. Today's class is a follow-up from last week's where we did Joseph Pilates' original 34 mat exercises. The class is very advanced, so if you find that you have any aches or pains, don't do it. Or what I would advise is watch the video first before you give it a go. Work to your own level and ability. I will try and give options to every exercise if I can. Most of the exercises are very advanced, so as I said, just look after your own body and do what you can do. If you've never done it before, I would just take it nice and easy. Good luck and have fun. See you in the mat. Afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Pilates. Today our class is going to be a continuation of last week's class. So if you already have done it, it is the 34 Joseph Pilates mat original exercises. It's very, very challenging. I will show you adaptations of each exercise. If you've never done Pilates before, just watch it probably first. I would recommend. It does get quite advanced, so just do what you can. If anything hurts, stop. Don't continue. So we're going to start off just by a little bit of mobilization. If you want to, you can do last week's class and then do the rest of the exercises. So we got to exercise number 15 last week. So I'm just going to do a little bit of mobility first of all. So sitting on your knees, we're going to move the spine side to side. Draw the abdominals nice and tight, belly to spine. Rib cage to hips come center, lengthen the spine, exhale, float all the way to the other side, lengthening up through the side of the body and reaching as far as you can, breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Now from here we're going to lift that cheek and set it to the far side, lift up. And move your bottom to the other side. So you're getting that length through the side of the body. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Abdominals engaged and pelvic floor stays nice and tight. Pulling up from your pelvic floor as if you're stopping yourself from passing wind and passing water. And come back to center. Just a little rotation from side to side. And from here we bring ourselves down onto the mat to lie onto our back. Hug the knees to the chest. And just draw little circles with the legs in one direction and then the opposite direction. So we start off with exercise number 15, which is neck pull. So rolling up to sit. Knees can be bent or straight, depending on the flexibility of the hamstrings. We start off with a nice long spine, lengthening out through the crown of the head and through the tailbone. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Take the hands and place them behind the head. They're just there for, you don't want to put any force on the neck. They're just really there to keep the shoulders wide and the chest open. Inhale through the nose, exhale, and we're going to tuck the chin towards the chest. And then start to hinge from the hips and roll forward through the spine. And then lift back up. Bring the chin parallel to the floor so the spine is once again nice and long. Keep the spine long and start to hinge from the hips, lean back. And then come back to your start position. Do that again. Inhale. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Start to roll through the spine. Segmentally curling the spine. Roll back up. Keep those shoulders and elbows wide. Hinge back. Abdominals stay braced. You will feel this nice and tight on the hamstrings and on the quads. Sit forward. Chin comes down. Roll forward. So we can take this a little bit further this time. Roll back up. Inhale through the nose. If you have the flexibility, we hinge back. When you get to the point where you can't go any further, we start to curl the spine and roll down segmentally all the way to the floor so that each vertebra hits the floor one at a time. Inhale, exhale, slowly start to bring the chin to the chest, roll the spine all the way up with control. Try and keep those elbows wide. Sit up nice and tall, drop the chin to the chest, curl the spine and roll forward through the hips. Inhale, scoop all the way up, mobilizing through the spine as we move. Inhale, roll the spine, exhale all the way down. Inhale through the nose, draw the abdominals tight. Exhale, roll the chin to the chest. You're curling through the spine. Woo! Tough, tough, tough. Sit up tall, lengthen through the spine. Inhale, exhale. Let's do one more. Again, if this is your option, you just stay here. Roll forward and back, lengthening through the spine. Hinge back, and then roll. Inhale through the nose, abdominals are drawn tight. Exhale, chin to chest. Slowly and segmentally roll that spine all the way up. Lengthen through the spine. Reach to the ceiling, circle the arms. Circle the shoulders. Bring the feet together and slowly roll down onto your back. Stretching out those hamstrings. Bring both knees into the chest for scissor. Few variations for the scissor. We're going to extend both legs. Extend one leg and then the other. And switch legs. You want to try and keep as much length through the back of the leg as you can. If you have a slight bend in the knee, that is fine. We're just working on flexibility through the hamstrings. You can take the head and shoulders off the mat, keeping the lower back nice and heavy on the floor. Inhale for 2 moves. Exhale for 2 moves. Harder option. We can stick here and do this if you wish, or we can roll back. Coming up on, holding your hands on your hip bones and scissor the legs. Try to get as much length through the legs as you can. The hips do not want to be in line with the shoulders, so we don't want to be up here. We want to keep the hips low. Lengthen through. So again, you work at your level. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth one more time, and hug the knees in. Bicycle. So from here, rest the head down towards the floor. Inhaling through the nose. We're going to extend both legs. Extend one leg away and drive it in. And as if you're riding a bicycle, bend the knee in. Knee comes into the chest as the opposite leg extends. And then you circle. You take the head and shoulders off the mat. You want to separate the legs as much as you can and then switch and separate. Harder option. We can come up one more time onto the hips. Separate the legs, drop the heel to the bottom and switch. Extend, lengthen, push through. So you choose which option works for you. And we don't want to be up here cycling. You want to use the length through the legs. Separate the legs, then curl and roll through. 2 more. Last one. Hug the knees to the chest. Circle those knees. Massaging the lower back. Working to your level with all of these exercises. Next exercise, we're going into our bridge. few variations. Abdominals braced, pull the ribs to the hips. We're going to lift the tailbone off the mat, then the pelvis, then the lower ribs. Shoulder blades, collarbone is wide, driving through the feet. And then slowly roll the spine all the way back to the floor. Upper back, mid back, lower back, pelvis, then tailbone. You want to feel that little pelvic curl as you roll the tailbone back to the floor. Scoop the abdominals. Inhale, exhale, lift the tailbone, pelvis. Super slowly lift the ribs. Feel the shoulder blades wide on the floor and heavy. Lengthen through the neck. Squeeze the glutes. Hamstrings, push through the heels and the toes, and then slowly roll back down. This is option 1. You stay here if this is your level. Level 2, we're going to roll up. Abdominals braced, pelvic floor engaged. I'm just keeping my hands off the floor so that you can sort of have an idea of what I'm doing. You can keep the hands down on the floor if you need to. So from here we come into this bridge position. Get the feet nice and strong on the floor. And we're going to start to march through the feet. Now we want to keep the hip bones still. We want to think of stability through the hips and the shoulders as we march through the feet. That's option 2. Abdominals stay braced throughout. Come back down to the floor at any time if you need to. Option 3, we lift that knee. Extend the leg long with a pointed toe. Flex the foot and drive that leg down. Keep hips still. Bring it back up. And down, we drive through the heel. Lift back up. Drive through the heel. Lift back up. Last one here. Lift back up. Bend the knee. Place that foot back onto the floor. Rolling the spine all the way back to the floor with control. We're going to come back up and do the same on the opposite leg. Keep to option 1 or option 2 if you wish. Inhale, scoop the belly. Abdominals braced, ribs pulled to hips, squeezing the glutes, hamstrings engaged. Lift that leg. Point the toe, lengthen through. Feel that length through the front of the back of the leg. Flex the foot. Drive through that heel. And lift. Keep the hips still. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, lift. Last one here. Lift it back through, bend the knee. Place the foot on the floor and slowly roll the spine all the way back down to the floor. Starting from the top, middle, bottom, and tailbone. Knees to the chest. And draw circles with the knees. Just take the hands out to the sides, drop the feet back to the floor, and just keep the inner thighs engaged as you just rock the knees from side to center. Just loosening up the lower back once again. Bring the knees back to center and just slowly and safely bring yourself back up to seated position. You can either straddle the legs, bend the knees, sit onto a towel or a cushion if you need to lift the lower back. So we're going to sit up nice and tall with a long spine. Hands can either be on the shoulders or by the temples. We're going to inhale through the nose with that long spine and start to move through the shoulders, twisting the torso all the way to one side. Spine twist. Inhale back to center and all the way to the other side. Try and keep the chin in the center of your chest. So you lead through the shoulders and the hips stay grounded to the floor. And with each repetition, Keep it nice and slow and try and move a little bit further round with each repetition if you want to, and if you have the space, you can lengthen those arms. Last one here. And we're going to bring it back to the center. So the next exercise is called the jackknife. Very advanced. If you find that you have any problems with your back, I would recommend you leave this one out. So we're going to start off on our back. Bend the knees. I'll give you a little option just to keep you moving if you don't like this one. So we draw the abdominals in. We're going to lift the knees towards the chest, similar to what we do in a rollover. So you want to try and lift the tailbone and as much of the lower back as you can. Inhale. And roll through. Jackknife. We want to roll up. Again, catching the hip bones with the thumbs. So we're going to elongate the legs so that they're parallel to the floor. Inhaling through the nose, the neck is nice and long. And we're going to push the toes to the ceiling and then scoop and drop them back down. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So the legs are engaged. The arms are engaged. We push up. Inhale. Weights on the shoulders and not in the neck. Last one. Drive the knees down. Float the hands to the floor and segmentally roll the spine all the way back to the floor with control. Hug the knees in. Rock from side to side. And roll it onto our side. So a little side kick series. Always when we're on our side, we want the shoulders stacked, hips stacked, knees and ankles stacked. So you can roll down onto the floor with a nice long spine. Make sure the neck is long, hips are stacked. We can either keep the bottom leg bent for a little bit of extra stability, or we lengthen the top leg. You can bring them slightly in front of your mat and engage that bottom leg, draw the abdominals in, and we kick that leg up. Flex the foot, drive it back down. Top hand can either be in front or behind. As long as we don't start to slouch the top shoulder forward. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, drive the heel down. Point and flex. Point the toe. Flex the foot. Point the toe. Flex. Point, flex, last one here, point and flex. Now point the toe of that top leg. We take the leg and swing it forward with control. Flex the foot, drive the leg back in line with the hip and slightly behind as long as we don't start moving through the torso. Point and swing forward, flex, roll back, point, flex. 4 more. Breathing in through the nose, exhaling fully through the mouth. Point and flex. Bring that leg back in and relax. Change sides. Swoop all the way back round. Shoulders stacked, hips stacked, knees and ankles stacked, abdominals braced, pelvic floor is engaged. Extend both legs in front of the mat. Point the leg to lift, flex to lower. Use the breath. Moving as slow or as fast with these as you wish, but keep control between the shoulders, ribs and hips throughout the movement. Last one. Point the toe. We swing the leg forward with control. We flex and drive it back and slightly behind. Feel that length through the front of the hip flexor. Point and flex. We're always stronger on one side than we are on the other. Point forward, flex back. Point forward, flex back. I've lost count. Point. We'll do last one here. Point, flex, drive it back. Bring the leg back in and bend the knees. Oh, exercise number 22, the teaser. Okay, so if you have a wee cushion or something handy, you can use it to add a little bit of stability to try and make sure that your legs don't move. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to bring the knees in and just cup the backs of the legs. So we're going to sit tall, slight curl through the pelvis and draw the abdominals tight. And we're going to lift one foot and then the other. So we're going to build up to the teaser because the teaser is quite a challenging exercise. The class today is probably quite challenging to do the exercises correctly. And if you can, then we start to just change legs, tapping each toe on the floor alternately. And if you can, hold and balance. Now here's your little challenge. If you can hold it for a second. Here is your challenge. So we're going to hold the legs in that position. You can place something on the legs, really engage those abdominals and squeeze the pelvic floor as much as you can. So from here you can hold on to the legs and we're going to start to try and roll the spine to the floor without moving the legs, and then segmentally roll back up. You can do it without hands. That's wonderful. Harder option is to keep the legs long. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, roll back. Exhale, roll up. Do one more if you can. Draw the abdominals in and have a little rest. Teaser 1. Teaser 2. We sit in this position once again. You can hold on to the legs if you need to. Tap the toes down. Lift the toes up. Scoop the abdominals. Tap down and lift. Harder option, no hands. Tap and lift. Harder option, long legs. Drop and lift. Inhale, exhale. Last one here. Tap and lift. Hug the knees in. Full teaser. Draw the abdominals nice and tight. We roll onto the back. Belly button's drawn in, pelvic floor is engaged. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. We start to try and lift the body, upper body, lower body together. And then slowly lower. Inhale. Control it back to the floor. Scoop the abdominals. Exhale, lift. If this hurts your lower back, stop and don't do it. Hug the knees in and rest. Just roll forward. Give the spine a little stretch. And come back up. Exercise number 23, hip twist. So we're in our seated position. We come down, easier option. We're on the elbows. Collarbone is wide. And we're going to take the legs and bend the knees. So we're going to twist for from side to side with the knees. Option 2, legs are long and we twist from side to side. Harder option, we come up onto the hands, keep the collarbone nice and wide. And we twist from side to side with those legs, working through those obliques. Make sure you're not got any furniture around you. Back to center, hug the knees, and roll it out. Onto the tummy for the next exercise, swimming. Arms are long, legs are long, belly button's drawn away from the mat. Forehead down, toenails on the floor, hip bones grounded. We pull the abdominals up and squeeze them nice and tight. Exhale and we lift opposite arm, opposite leg. Length through both the arms and legs as we move. Slowly lower. Exhale, opposite arm, opposite leg. Lifting and lower as we go. So this is your option 1. We can stay here. Imagine you're being pulled by opposite sides of the room through your toes and your fingers. Squeeze those glutes. Length through those legs. Try and take the bend out of those knees if you can. Harder option. We lift both arms and legs off the floor and we're going to flutter for 10. We breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. 9, 8, keep moving. Stretch, stretch, stretch. 6, 5, draw the abdominals as tight as you can. 4, 3, keep going. 2, and 1. Float the arms and legs back to the floor. Push through the hands, lift the tailbone to the heels. Lengthen the palms all the way away. Forehead to the floor. And breathe. Long, slow, controlled breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Leg pull front is next. So we draw those abdominals nice and tight. Hands are directly below the shoulders. Knees just below the hips. So I'm going to show you just a few wee options first of all. We want a nice long neutral spine, lengthen one leg. So we push the heel away and then we bring the heel back in towards the body. So you want to be on the ball of the foot. You want to feel this through the calf. Now, bend that leg back in and change legs. Extend that leg long, abdominals braced. Push back and forward. Push that heel back, feel the length through the calf. And then slide that leg back in. Option 2. We come up into a plank position. Drive the heels away, and we're going to drive the heels away and push forward onto our toes, onto the balls of the feet. Try and keep that long spine. 2 more. Last one. Drop the knees. Sit onto the heels if you want to, and watch option 3. We come up onto our bridge. We inhale through the nose, scoop the abdominals tight, lift one leg and point the toe. We drive the heel down, in, down, in, back. Drop that leg, scoop the abdominals, lift the opposite leg. We point and flex both feet. Do it with me. Lift the leg, point and flex. Drop that leg. Last one. Lift, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Drop that leg. Drive the knees down, tailbone to heels, forehead to floor, and rest. Rolling onto our bottoms once again. Sitting up nice and tall through the spine. We're going to take the hands and place them, fingertips just where your bottom, at the sides of your bottom. So we're going to start off keeping the shoulder blades wide, collarbone is spread, and we're going to lift the bottom off the floor, pushing through the hands. Lift and drop the tailbone back down. Feeling those triceps, squeeze the glutes, lift, draw the belly in, don't throw the head back. We want to keep that connection between the chin and the chest. We don't want to throw the head back. Lift and lower. Harder option. Legs are long. Driving through the heels, driving through the hands. Lift. Keep the chin connected to the chest and lower. Two more. Lift. Squeeze those glutes and lower. Last one here. Slowly lower the hips back to the floor. Take the feet together, knees apart, and flutter those knees up and down. Rolling onto our knees. Number 27, kneeling side kick. So we take one leg, extend it long, knee, hip, shoulder in line. Extend both arms, inhaling through the nose. We're going to just hinge through the side of the body. Bring the hand to the floor so the shoulder, wrists are in line. Scoop those abdominals, lift and lower that leg. 3, 2. This can be done on the floor here if you want to. Like our side kick series. This is a lot more challenging. Now from here we lift and elongate that leg. We point the toe, kick it forward, flex, drive it back, point, flex. 5, 4, 3, 2 more. And your final one here. Point and flex. Bring the foot back to the floor. Use those obliques to lift you back tall. Slide the leg in, slide the opposite leg out. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder in line. Lengthen both the arms. Hinge all the way down to the floor. Point the toe and lift and lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Again, if it's easier for you, just lie down on your side. Lift, elongate out of that leg, point and flex. 5, 4, point and flex. 3, 2, and last one. Flex, drop that foot to the floor, squeeze those abdominals and sit up tall. Slide the leg back in. Side bend, option 1. Knees are bent, feet are in line with the bottom, and we're just going to lift the waist off the floor and then drop it back down. So we lift the rib cage up and the rib cage down. So you'll feel that length through the spine, through the side of the body as you lift and lower. Option 2, lift the hips, push through the knees and drop. Option 3, take the top leg, bend it in front, bottom leg behind, hand down on the floor. Extend towards the ceiling and we lift up, reaching all the way through and drop down. Bring the tailbone to the heels. 3 more. 2. And last one. And seeing we're in this position, we're going to extend the hand to the ceiling and roll through. Let's do one more. the heels to the bum and come round onto the other side. Side bend. Option 1, we lift the rib cage, drop the rib cage. Option 2, we lift the hips, pushing through the knees, pushing through the elbow. Some people find that this will give them shoulder pain, so if it hurts, just stay with the easier option. Option 3, bottom leg under, top leg in front, pushing through the palm, drive the hips to the ceiling and extend. Inhale, exhale, inhale. I've lost count. Extend the arm to the ceiling and thread the needle. Extend the arm tall, draw the abdominals, tailbone to the floor, and have a little rest. Boomerang, my fave. Okay. So, boomerang, we're going to start off seated with our legs crossed. One leg on top of the other. Use your hands first of all. So we want to start, use the hands and we're going to roll the spine to the floor. Now really we're using the abdominals for this, but if you can't get down and up without assistance, you can use a resistance band around your feet and keep the legs bent, or just use your arms and you will get used to muscle memory and you'll be able to roll down and up. So we roll all the way down. You can try and roll down and up if you can, if that's your option. There's a few elements to this one, so we'll just keep it nice and slow. So from here we go into a rollover. We draw the abdominals tight, we engage through the pelvic floor, and we lift the feet. Hands are down and we roll over. We start off with the legs crossed, sitting nice and tall. Use your hands to slowly roll all the way back to the floor. Once we get down onto the floor, you can bend your knees and lift your knees off the floor. So this is option 1. Use your hands to help you push it up. Swap legs, cross the other one over, and use roll like a ball to roll you up and down. Switch legs, roll back. Use momentum if you need to. Okay? Harder option. So we're going to use the arm, bring the arms into play. Take the arms behind, roll forward, circle the arms up, and come up to sit. Legs are crossed. Use your hands if you need to help you roll back. You roll back all the way, feet are parallel to the floor. Switch legs. Slowly and segmentally roll back up. Use the hands if you need to and push up. Don't let the feet fall, we come into teaser. Drop the feet as you start to curl the hands forward. Roll them behind. Extend them tall. Circle the arms all the way around and come back up to sit. Legs are still crossed. Take the hands by the sides. Inhale. Slowly exhale and roll back. Take the legs all the way over parallel to the floor. Switch legs. All the way back up. We're coming back to our teaser. Slowly drop the arms, drop the legs and take the hands behind. Hinge through the hips and bring the nose to the knees. Circle the arms all the way through. And sit tall. Hands come down. Slowly roll back. Switch legs. Roll back up, teaser. Drop the arms, drop the legs. Hinge forward, circle the arms. Sitting tall one more time. Roll back. Change the legs. Roll back up. Whoop. Lift and lengthen. Let's do one more. Sit tall, slowly roll back. Switch legs. Extend and roll into teaser. Take the arms behind. hinge forward, circle the arms, and come up to sit. The seal. So from here, we want to bring the feet together. This is an element of roll like a ball. So we want a nice curly, rolly C-curve through the spine. You can hold onto the shins if you wish. So we'll show you option 1 first of all. The seal, we want to clap our feet together. So we rotate those ankles in, clap the feet, roll back, clap, roll up, balance onto the sit bones, roll back and roll up. If you have the flexibility, you can take your hand underneath. So it lets you open your hips a little bit more. Clap the feet, roll back, roll up, woo, roll back, roll up. Use the abdominals to help you pull on the brakes so that you don't use too much momentum and roll too far forward. Really opening up those hips. And bring your feet to the floor. The crab. So the crab is slightly a wee bit more challenging. I don't even think I'm going to do the crab. I'm going to leave the crab out for today because it is very, very advanced. So we're going on to the tummy for rocking. So belly button drawn away from the mat, abdominals braced. Take the hand that's nearer to me and reach around and see if you can hold onto your foot. So you're going to pull the front of that thigh off the floor and feel that length through the front of the hip and the quad. And then take the heel away from the bottom, and if you can, push through the opposite hand and lift yourself up. So we lift the chest off the floor. Inhale and lower back down. Try and make sure that both shoulders stay parallel to the floor. So if I'm doing it in front, pull the heel away and roll inhale to the bottom, heel away from the bottom. Heel to the bottom, heel away from the bottom. And then change legs. And we do the same again. Heel in, heel away. Brace those abdominals as tight as you can. Feel that length all the way through the front of the body as we roll down and roll up. And that's going to get the front of the body all nice and stretched for rocking if you can. Abdominals braced, pelvic floor engaged. And we hold on to both feet. Lift up and drop. Depending on what sort of a floor you have, you might want to rock forward and back. Keep it a nice strong spine. Drop the knees to the floor. Lengthen through. If you want to, come up and have a little stretch into cat-cow. Chin to chest, tailbone to ceiling, chin forward, belly to floor. Inhale, knees in line with hips, hips in line with shoulders. Set the tailbone onto the heels and have a wee rest. Control balance. This is probably my favourite Pilates exercise. Challenging, but great benefits. So we roll onto our back. Once again, if you can't lift your lower back off the floor, use a pillow or something to lift your pelvis and your lower back up, and it gives you a little head start. So we're just going to start off rolling the spine off the floor. Draw the abdominals tight, exhale, roll. Inhale. And if you can't get up to push your lower back off the floor, this is a good way to start, just by strengthening the back and the abdominals as one. Keeping everything nice and strong. So That's option one. I'll show you the full exercise and you can take it wherever you want to take it. Keep it nice and safe. Any pain, you just stop. So we start off, hands are on the floor. You're going to use those shoulders and triceps to help you keep the legs straight and roll all the way back. From here, you take both arms and lengthen them behind. If you want to, you can hold on to that leg that's on the floor and we extend the opposite leg to the ceiling. Lots of control to keep this position. And we want to try and lengthen through both legs. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, slowly control that leg back down. And lower. Roll back down at any time when you feel the need. Try and separate those legs as much as you can without rolling back. Now from here, bring both feet down. You place the hands back on the floor and slowly control the spine back to the floor. Try not to lift the head. Oh, delicious. Let's do one more. Inhale, exhale, roll back. Just hold it to where you feel comfortable. Now some people might feel safer doing it here, keeping the hands down. If you have the ability, take the hands away. Lift and extend through. Hold it, control those abs. One more each side. Last one. Take the hands back to your start position. Roll all the way down with control. Hug the knees. Oh, beautiful. Roll the knees from side to side. And breathe. So good. Last exercise. Rolling up and come onto the knees. Hands directly below the shoulders. Knees are bent in tabletop. We're going to inhale through the nose for the push-up and lower. Kiss the floor, exhale, push back up. Inhale. Harder option, you can take the knees further away, or you can come into your full push-up, push down and back up. I'm going to stay on my knees. Inhale. 7. Keep the elbows glued to the ribs. 6. 5. 4. 3. Raise those abdominals. Keep the ribs and hips connected. I think this is our last one. Bring the tailbone to the heels. Take the right arm and float it underneath the left. Bring the right ear to the floor. And then take the left hand to the ceiling. Stretch tall. Left hand down. Push the left hand, lift the right hand. Take the left hand, float it underneath. Thread the needle. Extend the right arm to the ceiling. Lovely rotation through the spine. Slowly float the right hand down. And push back up. Oh, slightly dishevelled. Wow, that was great. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. Awesome class. Stay indoors, stay safe. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much.